Here's another one. Here's another one. Coming to you from another generic park, guys. Another generic park from the island. The island of misfits. Oh, I gotta go poo. Jeez. When you walk a lot, you know when you hike a lot, you get the gurgles. You get the gut bubbles. Oh, jeez, I gotta go poo so bad. Whatever. I power through. You ever do that? You just clench your sphincter the whole day, guys. Like, you know what? You know what, bowels? Not today, man. Not today, bowels. Not today. Yeah. I'm gonna feel the ducks. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear the quacks, but yeah. Feel the ducks. Hear that? I don't know what I don't want to talk today. I mean, I watched the movie the other day. That's what I do a lot. Because I'm into film. Are you into film? It's damn ducks. They're quacks. They're quacks, just like me. Because I'm a quack. Yeah. What did I watch? What film on the island did I watch? Oh, I watched my boy Keanu, the resident Canadian. I think he's Canadian. I think he's like half Lebanese or something. Half Lebanese, half Canadian. Some of that. I can't even recall. But you know Keanu. Keanu Reeves. John Wick 4, you know? The feast for your eyes when it comes to violence. That movie is like really all it is I was thinking about this the whole time I was watching the movie, like the movie caters to like people who love, well, action, but also like, you know, like you ever hear that concept of how like your mirror neurons are firing like when you watch like sports, for example? Because you sort of like, you're almost, it's not like you're there, but you can sort of like, you almost like feel or sense like an edge when you're watching somebody else commit like to a play or like some sort of action sequence, because it sort of draws you in, and then your mirror neurons also fire, and you almost sort of sense or feel whatever it is that they're feeling as well. That's the excitement, right? That movie's great for that. John Wick 4 is just it's just a artwork of just violence, you know? It's like masterfully done violent artwork. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it's really visually, like, it's really good on the eyes, that movie. It's really good on the eyes. A lot of good stuff in that. I mean, it's all about, I mean, you haven't seen the first one, I mean, spoiler alert, but the whole movie's about like an assassin. This brotherhood of assassins that live by some sort of code, if you will, like a code amongst assassins. It's funny, and they all meet like at a hotel, right? I guess I was trying to figure this out, but I guess the hotel also like symbolizes like, because it belongs to no one, right? Sort of like like an embassy, like when you're on embassy land, like it belongs to like a foreign entity. Hotels really belong to no one. That's why I guess it's like no man's land, it's like a Sudeten land, like nobody can do anything there because it belongs to everybody and nobody at the same time. If that makes any sense. That's what a hotel is, right? You're only there temporarily. Nobody stay there forever. It's not like a permanent address. It's like nobody stays there permanently. It belongs to nobody. That's a hotel. Okay, that's a hotel. So that's why all these like assassins meet you, like, because there's an agreement. Like you're not on hallowed ground, but you're not like on ground that belongs to anybody. You know, like, and it also like represents anonymity too, right? When you go to a hotel, in a way it's anonymous. You know, like people, you go there, no one really knows who you are there, because you're not like you're not really you're just a visitor, you know, you're an out-of-towner, no one really knows who you are. So there's a sense of anonymity, which falls into the whole idea of assassins, right? Assassins are unknown, they're unknown entities. You don't know who they are. They come in, do a job, and they leave, right? You don't know who the assassin is. You don't want to know who the assassin is. That's what they do. That's what they do. Assassins. Yeah. There's different types of I mean people say like, you know, like political assassinations, or even like celebrity assassination, like, you know, like when John Lennon, or who was another guy, Selena. I remember she got, what, I wouldn't consider those assassinations. Those are just like crazed. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it an assassination. That's just like a crazed stalker or something that just wants to like exact revenge. Assassination is like when you're like, the intent is to get rid of someone for like, I wouldn't say even personal. Actually, yeah. I mean, what is an assassination really? I mean, like, when is it not personal? Like, let's say you want to get rid of a competitor. People would say that's not really personal. It's more instrumental. But isn't it personal? Because you want. I mean, if you didn't care who this person, everything is I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Everything is personal. How can you be like, let me get rid of competitor A and be like, it's not personal? Of course it's personal. I mean, you would argue, well, not really, because they're just doing what has to be done in order to, you know, get some ill-gotten gain or get a competitive edge. Yeah, but do you really need to eliminate? Like, that's what I'm trying to get. The only reason why you would have to eliminate somebody else if they're more of if they're a threat to you than anything else. Or, like I said, you want to get rid of them because they've angered you in some way, so you hire somebody else to do it. So then it is personal. Yeah, it is personal. The assassin isn't doing it out of personal reasons. That's the difference. The person ordering the hit does so for personal reasons. But the assassin himself doesn't, his job is just a job. He doesn't see it as, or she doesn't see it as a, yeah, they're not motivated by personal gripe. They're just motivated by a check. So they just kill. Yeah, they literally just kill for instrumental reasons. Either, yeah, for a check. They have no ill will even against the target. They just see it as a cold. And I'm trying to figure, like, throughout the whole series, like, throughout the whole movie, spoiler alert, but throughout the whole movie, I was, like, watching it and trying to figure out, like, who really is, like, the bad guy here? Like, you know, like, who's the monster? The person ordering the hit, who doesn't want to get his hands dirty? Or the assassin who just kills without motive? Well, the motive is money, but no emotional motive, just an instrumental one, just a cold, no personal reason attached to it, you know? Who's more dangerous, you know? Who's more of a monster? Yeah, I feel out of sorts today. I don't know what it is. Oh, I went for a hike, that's why. Yeah. Do I look earthy? Do I look like I eat granola bars? Granola bars? Huh? I smell earthy now. I have khakis on. I have an earthy green sweater on. Lots of earthy people here. Lots of people doing yoga, you know? Lots of people who don't use deodorant. They probably like brush their teeth with like thistle sticks or something, or thistle. They bathe in like oat milk or some shit. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. Lots of that. Not many people here look like me, I'll tell you that. I am at a place here. I am very, or maybe I'm not, you know? Maybe I'm not at a place. Look how I talk. Look how I talk, guys. Yeah, John Wick. Yeah, it was like a strange, because like you see it throughout the whole movie, like, because like there's this ultimate villain, right, who's like seen as like he's French, by the way, so you know he's bad, you know he's evil. He represents like all of like European, like, even the way he dresses, he's so like everything about it is so ostentatious, right? Like the place that he resides in, the artwork that he looks at, like it all represents like all like European continental like whatever, quote unquote, whatever civilizes. But then you look at the guy, he's like, he's very meticulous, very like rational, very orderly. But he orders out all these like kills, which he doesn't do himself. Like he gets other people, because they want to get rid of John Wick because he's been excommunicated or whatever. It's weird because they say like the rules are meant to just like differentiate themselves from animals. But then I was thinking about it, like what do animals do? Animals just kill to eat, right? For the most part. There's no like you never heard of like an animal committing murder. I mean, they don't commit murder out of like, right? They don't even have, even the concept of intent doesn't exist. I don't know. Because don't animals live in the here and now? They don't. They just like eat. Either eat or they kill other animals to mate. Which is still a survival type of, like they don't do it just for like, they don't do it for like abstract reasons, you know? Strange. And he kept saying like the rules are meant to differentiate us from like the animals. And I'm thinking about like these guys are the animals, like they're monsters. Like the whole time I'm watching, like all these guys are monsters. But the thing is, they're just monsters amongst themselves. Like throughout the whole series, like throughout the movie, like it's interesting because like it's a bit like crazy. Like there's like a suspension of disbelief, or no, sorry, suspension of belief, because like all the fight sequences occur like in these like open spaces, and everybody's still doing like every scene, like you have people like dancing, or like it's in the middle of the street and people just going about their way while these guys are just like committing the most like ultra violent acts. And then like it's funny because it's like the juxtaposition of like everyday regular life and like the most ultra violent like scenes in the middle of like everyday society, like the middle of a city or something. It's funny, but it's cool though. It's funny because then they say like they're like the rule bound killers, which is kind of funny. Like they're the monsters. They're monsters amongst themselves. They just kill other monsters. That's what they are, really. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of cool. God, the villain in it is like this Frenchman. He's supposed to represent all that is civilized, you know, all that is. And you look at him like this guy's not even like, he's a monster too. Like it's weird. They all try to convince themselves that they're human, but they're not. But I'm still trying to, like, I'm still at odds, like who's worse, like him or the assassins, you know? Because assassins, they just do it, they just kill for dollars. Whereas the guy ordering the hit, you can say somebody does it for political, but it's political reasons are personal reasons. Like, how do you even like, let's say you want to get rid of like I don't know, a candidate or even a business. It's still personal. I mean, when people say it's business, it's not, no, it is personal. It is personal. That doesn't make any sense. It is personal. That's why you get somebody else to do it. I mean, if it was, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. No. Yeah, I mean, the only person who isn't doing it for personal reasons is the assassin. The tool that you're using is the one that isn't personal. Because the assassin is the tool. You're the person procuring his or her services to commit that act. So the assassin is just a tool. He's not even acting on his own. Like he's acting on his own volition, but he's acting according to your will, like the will of the person who wants you to, your orders, so to speak. Like I'm the one giving out the orders, and he just commits, like he just executes them. So he's just a tool. And that's what I'm trying to figure, like who's worse, the assassin or the guy calling for the hit, you know? And throughout it, you see it, because even John Wick is kind of conflicted. Even the other assassins become conflicted as to like who to kill. Like, should I kill this? Should I kill John Wick or this evil Frenchman? You know, the French. They're shifty, these French guys. You never know. You never know about these Frenchmen. Yeah, it's so strange. So strange. Yeah. And the backdrop is like throughout Europe and like I think Japan as well. Because the whole thing, like Japan is like an honor culture, you know, like honor, rules, and even Japan has a history of assassins. Yeah, for a long time, even in Japan, like it used to be a regular occur. Like it was so. I mean, political assassinations used to be very normal in political culture and amongst the political elite in Japan. Like it was so normal. Like whenever it would happen, people were really surprised. I guess it comes with the territory, you know, when you got like, which is kind of ironic, like the honor of it. Like what honor is there amongst monsters, you know? Like they're just, I guess the agreement is if I'm a monster and you're a monster, well, anything kind of goes, you know? Anything kind of goes, yeah, because like I'm willing to do everything and anything, the worst type of things, so are you, but those people aren't, so they're off limits. But the people who are off limits, I mean, because you and I are parasites and we're willing to do really horrible things to people, we need to use the people who are harmless, you know? That's who we feed off of. But I don't want you infringing on my territory, so now I gotta get rid of you. You see the same thing with like drug dealers and territory, right? When they have customers. Let's say a certain area has like, I don't know, well, you see it, right? I mean if certain areas have like major social and health issues, you're gonna see like a segment of the population who are prone to addiction, problems. They congregate in certain areas, you know what I'm talking about. So what happens is when they get their check or they get their assistance, these monsters, if you will, these wolves come down and then they feed, if you will. They feed on the hapless, these weakened and hapless individuals. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Some couple love. There's a happy couple here in their RV doing nature stuff. Yeah. Wow, it's bright. It's bright. It's bright. Ah. Yeah, what was I trying to get at? Yeah, the assassins, yeah. That's what happens basically, right? I mean, somebody infringes on your territory. You got to get rid of them because now they're eating. They're taking food out of your mouth. Or not even so much as taking food out of your mouth. They're making what could have been a very easy endeavor a little bit harder, you know? Because like I said, like if I'm a parasite, the last thing I want to do is work very hard to eat, right? So I look for the easiest way to do it, the easiest way to eat. The last thing I need is somebody else now and like imposing themselves or infringing on that, making my life just a little bit more difficult, right? That's the last thing I want to do. So what do is I get rid of the competition, right? Because easy money is better than hard money. I mean, who would deny that? I mean, no one. That's just common sense. No, the last thing I want is somebody else taking a piece of something I feel I'm entitled to. Okay? Yeah, but it's the same thing with, yeah, even in ancient Japan, like pre-World War II, when they had like a feudal, I think it was like, I don't know what it is, like a feudal system or emperor or whatever. It was the same thing, like amongst that class, like it was common. Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But it was fair game, you know? Like it was sort of, because you're dealing with monsters. Odd. And he's like, the rules are what distinguish us from the animals. I'm like, who's, okay, if it, like, maybe he's right. Maybe it does distinguish you from the animals, but define animal in you now. Are the animals the lesser thing, or are you the lesser thing, you know? It's weird. It's funny because like one of the assassins is like this black guy who arrives in Japan, and you're like, this guy sticks out like a sore thumb, you know? Like he enters a hotel, he dresses like a, I don't know, some sort of artisan of some sort. He has a dog. Like he already stuck out. They probably put him there for like visual reasons, if that makes any sense. Just because like he's in Japan, black guy, dog, you know, so it's supposed to shatter like expectations or stereotypes. You know when someone goes out of their way to like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like when somebody goes out of their way to shatter whatever stereotype somebody has of them. So like, let's say, I don't know, like you see that like in media and television. It's like when they push for like positive television, or they go the other way too, right? Or they stereotype you the other way too. So like I don't know, like, you know, like BET for example always have like a ridiculous like show about like, I don't know, Baby Boy. That movie was on repeat. I remember as a kid when I was on BET when I was a kid. Like that's like a stereotype of like of whatever black culture was in the U.S. Or they would go the other way. Like they go way too far in the other direction. They're like, okay, we need to make positive stereotypes, and then they would get like a black family, like a doctor, so like the Cosbys, you know, like. Or like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something. Like they just go way too far. Like, it's just like because you're trying to push it on everybody. It's still like, oh no, they're like these people. Like when in actuality, everybody knows like people are, you know, complicated. Like people are more gray. You know, like it's not like that. But what I was trying to get at, that's what they did in this movie with that black character. Like. Because he looks so out of like you wouldn't because like if you saw that, like if I was working at that hotel and I was a concierge, I'm like, oh, this guy's here for some other reason. Why? Because he's the only black guy for miles, you know. Like yeah. Oh, that's funny. It's like what's his face, Trevor Noah has that bit like when you're gonna get like a black 007 like in the most like whitest part of like Europe. Like how is he gonna, I think your cover's blown there, buddy. Really, who's this black guy with all these like funds, these mysterious funds? He just comes in out of nowhere to like the most isolated and whitest part of Europe. Like, yeah, I think that's the spy, guys. That's the guy right there. Yeah, it's funny. But I think that black guy was put in there for like visual, because he looked very striking, you know, because that movie, like I said, was very like, it was like a visual feast, you know, like it's a cool. Guess like your mirror neurons firing, you know. I guess it's geared for guys too. Guys are like that too. Like we need, because we're visual creatures. So movies like that tend to gear towards men, right? Media, I mean visual things in general, like action, anything that's movement oriented, men tend to like, just because we're like, you know, we're like sort of like predators. Oops, did I say that? Men are predators. We're predators. We have approach behavior. We're action-oriented. We are visual spatial creatures. Our eyes. We make measurements with our eyes. We're visual. We get aroused with our eyes. We're visual spatial creatures. We're predators. But yeah, movies like that tend to cater to men for that reason, right? Action movies, right? Because guys are visual. I mean, even movies well, not really. I mean, women love film too. Just a different type. Like I said, like the type of. I don't know. Do women? I mean, women are more. I would say women are more verbal. They like literature. Man. Women are more into like writing and reading. Men tend to like, yeah, we're like visual, which is probably why film has been dominated by men for so long. Yeah, it's probably, that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, before anybody goes, hey, make a PC. Look, I'm just saying, like, I'm just stating a fact. Like, that's probably why film has been dominated by men because, like, I mean, it was invented by a guy. Remember, like, Edward Muybridge was a dude, guys. And he invented the moving image, because like I said, guys are like, we're visual spatial creatures, so it makes sense that a guy would invent like a medium that reflects that, you know, that's a projection of that part of his brain, if that makes any sense. That's why, I guess that's why men like visual, or even like film, yeah, like YouTube, all of it is dudes, like most of it is dudes. Like we love like visual spatial things. Like that's sort of our, cause that's biology, guys. I didn't put the chromosomes together, you know. I didn't put the pieces together, you know. I didn't put the clay together and blew the air in, you know. I didn't do it. But that's yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles, guys. We're visual spatial. In general, I'm not saying like you can't have any. Obviously, there's obviously like female directors, producers, actresses. I mean, obviously, but I'm saying like the idea, like even like editing, for example, or like film editing, or like anything that has to do with cinematography in general. I feel like, although I mean, I'm saying in general, you tend to see more. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me, but you tend to see more guys, I guess, because like I said, because they're visual, spatial. Like men think with, like we think with our eyes. Like men are very, yeah, we're very action oriented, visual. I'm gonna get, hopefully I don't get whatever. What was I trying to get at? Oh yeah, that scene with the yeah, because that black. What was interesting with that black guy is that like, it goes back to what I'm saying, like the tool versus the guy who orders the hit. Because the Frenchman gets this black guy to like, the black assassin. Should I say black assassin? He is black. No one really mentions that in the movie, but like, I don't know how else to refer to him. I mean, he's the black assassin. So, the black guy. There's a scene in the movie where the Frenchman, I don't know why he does this, but he stabs his like, I don't know, spoiler alert, he stabs his hand. It's part of the deal, and he wants to know like whether he's like committed to the cause or committed to himself. And he does this by like, he tells the guy like, if you're committed to the cause, you will leave the knife in and then remove yourself from it. Does that make any sense? Versus if it's about himself, he'll remove the knife to I guess reduce whatever damage he can do to his hand. That makes any, so like the knife's in his hand. So if he's committed to the cause, he'll remove his hand, but damage his hand even more. Whereas if he's committed to himself, he'll remove the knife because he's thinking about himself, like his own damage to himself. And I was thinking about this for a second. I'm like, wow, like, and then he decides to leave the knife in, for example, and then he removes his hands. Hey, buddy. Hey, man. What's going on? So like, yeah. So like, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about like another. You know when you get somebody else to like, imagine it's like self-immolation, you know, like when you're like harming yourself for a cause, like you're so committed to something, you're willing to harm yourself versus the thing. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what he did. Like he's like if you're committed to the cause, you'll rip your hand out, harming yourself but not remove the knife. And I'm like, wow, like he is a tool. Like he is a tool of somebody else. I was trying to figure, like, is he then the bad guy or is the other guy the bad guy? You know, because you see the same thing with like cult leaders and their followers. Like when like a follower does something in the name of like some sort of like, it doesn't even have to be like part of a cult. It could be like a political reason or like a religious reason. I don't know, but like when someone commits to something outside of themselves and then like they do like really, really, really crazy things. Yeah, or they work themselves to the bone for some sort of extra, and they don't get nothing in return, you know, like, crazy. So what I'm saying is, if you want to be a manager, kids, okay? What you want to do is, when you look for people, okay, they don't think about themselves, they don't think about their own safety, okay? These people will do everything and anything for you. Okay, kids? A good manager finds very young, impressionable minds because their psyches haven't formed yet, okay? They're very impressionable. They're prone to peer pressure, okay? So when someone who's more, you know, sure of themselves, tells them what to do, they'll do it because they want to be accepted. Okay, kids? So, so what you do, kids, okay, is you find these young, impressionable kids. Now, some of them want to volunteer. They want to work for nothing. See? They call it internship, volunteering, all right? We call it committing yourself to the cause, okay? Now, if you want to commit yourself to the cause, you got to give everything and anything, everything, all that is you, all of you to me, okay? I'm going to get you to work to the bone, work till you get tired, okay? No sleep, no water, no food. Yeah. That is crazy though, man. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you're a tool, basically. Like, you're a tool. Somebody else is telling you what you're just a tool. I don't know, man. Everybody is to us. I mean, you can't escape it. I mean, we live in a world that you have, but then I don't know. That is the issue with work, right? That's what happens. And then that's how you get like labor violations, or like, I mean, that's also why we get like illegal migrants for work and stuff, you know? Because somebody, I mean, nobody wants to admit it, but people on the other side of the border want to exploit that labor because it's cheap labor. Why? Because those people are desperate, right? You're going to exploit that. I don't know. Look, what I'm trying to get at is, don't harm people, okay? Don't harm. I always say that. Don't harm anybody. But yeah, I mean, you always want to find like a cheaper, like I said, remember, like, either it be like the drug dealer and the other drug dealer competing over some dispossessed or people prone to addiction, or a political class, right, who fight each other over their citizens that they'd also eat off of, right? Or a cult leader, for example, or even pimps. Pimps would do the same thing with women. I mean, they do the same thing with, like, yeah, then they fight other pimps for, like, because they're parasitic, like, they're guys who... Isn't that weird? So you're cult leaders, pimps, drug dealers, political leaders. Wow. Religion used to fall in, well, you still sort of do, not real. I mean, some religions are still like that right now because they're still fighting other religions, religious leaders, but like the old ones don't really care anymore. They don't. But isn't that weird, guys? Isn't that weird, boys and girls? Yeah, the guy ordering the hit versus the tool, you know? Committing yourself to the cause. Yeah, I don't know. But then again, I mean, if you're young and impressionable, I can see why. I mean, because you want to prove, like, you have to prove yourself because you don't have any experience, right? You haven't developed an identity yet, so you're still impressionable. Like, you don't know who you are. So somebody who does, who has a better understanding of who they are, can easily. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, you might get exploited, or I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. That is funny though. He's like, commit yourself to the cause, or commit to, and he's like a cult leader, you know? He's like this, like, he represents all that is civilized of Europe. Like, he represented this Frenchman who's like the civilized Frenchman, if you will. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know, man. Made me wonder, like, who's a monster, you know? Strange. Oh yeah, because it's funny, because in that same black guy who tried to commit himself to the cause, he's like, he has a dog with him, and all, like, the dog is also his tool, like man's best friend type of thing. But he's nice to his dog. That's the difference. Like, his dog is loyal to him, but even his dog is his own assassin too. Isn't that strange? Like, there's so many levels in that movie. It's very layered. Like, these assassins are dogs, and then this assassin has a dog. Like, even John Wick has a dog, which is also loyal to him. Oh, that's different. No, that's the same, actually. Because the assassins are loyal to nobody but a check. Yeah. The dog is loyal to the owner, but, like, even to the end. Like, he doesn't do it for anything else other than the fact that he loves his own. Does he love his owner, or is he only... I don't know. Does the dog love their owner, or do they only love the owner because of what he can do for? No, I don't think so. Dogs love their owners, but they become dependent on them, though. That's the thing too. Yeah, that's the issue. Whereas the assassin is like, even though the assassin is just a tool, he's not loyal to anybody. That's the thing. Yeah, it's strange. Man, that movie made me think a lot. John Wick, Keanu. That guy does not age, man. Jesus Christ. What is that guy, like 178? He looks like he's 40. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, the assassin. But I mean, that movie's like really unrealistic because I mean, if you're a really good assassin, like let's say like that's your job, no one will know you did your job. Does that make any sense? Like, if you're good at like committing like assassinations, no one will know that it was an assassination. You get it? Get it, boys and girls? That's the key, boys and girls. If you want to commit an assassination, no one will know it was an assassination. They'll just think it was a murder or an accidental death or some crime of passion. Or what you do, if you're really good at your job as an assassin, you get somebody else to commit the crime who's, I don't know, mentally unwell or imbalanced. So it looks like. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, because you need a tool, right? I mean, before you can just do like, I mean, there used to be a group. What were they called? They were somewhere in the Middle East. Like, they were an old sect. Like, they were old. Like, people from all over the world would use their services to commit assassinations, but they were known as assassins. Like, it was an open secret. Whereas now, like, you're not gonna find assassins. Like, you're just not. Like, there isn't a place you can go on the internet or a group that you know are well-known assassins. You know, assassins usually they tend to murder more on stage. Does that make any sense? They're assassins. Yeah, assassins murder on stage. You never know who they are, you know? They don't make themselves known. You know? Some of them hide in plain sight, assassins. They wear multiple hats. You don't really know what they do. But they're not out. It's not an open secret. Like, I mean, in the past it was. Like, there used to be people who were, you would just know, oh, that temple in the sky, or that monk temple in the mountains. Like, those where they hone all these. But today you don't really, it's not an open secret. Like, yeah, there's assassins out there, but you won't know that they're assassins, guys. Because if you want to commit a perfect murder, then no one's gonna know it was an assassination. You know? And also, like, in the movie, a lot of these guys are, like, killing, like, close, like, hand-to-hand combat. Very close, either with a gun, but even with a gun, like, they're very close to their target. You don't want to do that. I mean, think about, like, I mean, if you're a lazy person or, like, you're good at your craft, you're going to kill in a way that, like, that's easy and efficient, you know? Like, the easiest way to get your target without actually being there, right? So you look for weaknesses, right? Like, where is this person going to be? Who does this person talk to? What type of bad habits do they have, for example? You know? I don't know. And then you use this information to eliminate them. Or you fool somebody else. Like the famous North Korean one. Like when Kim Jong's brother or something got assassinated at an airport. Like, they tricked these two hapless women into thinking it was a game show. They used them as a tool to go commit the act, but they had no idea what was going on. Or like the Japanese one, like that guy, like the aggrieved person, the guy whose mom was like, she lost a bunch of money, or to like the Moonies, which is also a cult that's associated with the CIA, and Korea. But anyways, look, what I'm trying to get at is, don't hurt anybody, okay? No, look, yeah. Sometimes you can influence a person to hurt somebody else if you just give them the right motive, right? But to do that, you gotta be I mean, what type of person does that? I don't know. Yeah. Like you would want to create in a person, like you want to create a circumstance or a set of circumstances in a person that would promote the act of vengeance on behalf of somebody else. Does that make any sense? Like humiliation is a good one. Great humiliation, like especially if you're prone to like you have an ego, or it might make someone prone to commit an act of revenge, right? Or jealousy, or humiliation, though, because then your self-esteem gets depleted to a point where you feel like you need to do something to return it back to its normalcy, you know? Yeah. Now you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? What I'm saying, boys and girls, is that there are people out there, boys and girls, who understand the mind very well. Know what buttons to push. They're in the business of violence, you know? Because these guys are losers. No, I'm just kidding. They are. A lot of these guys are losers. They're in the business of violence. They try to provoke it and steal it because they make dollars off of it. A lot of them are very, like I said, sociopathic. Like, they don't think like normal people. Yeah. Yeah, there's like an element of sadism. It's like, I mean, to be able to even like, it takes a certain amount of compartmentalization to be able to even think about something like that, though. To really you have to have like a certain level of like cognitive empathy. Like you have to be able to like understand human emotion but not feel it. Does that make any sense? In order to really really move someone to action, like you have to like know how to, yeah. But yeah, you just get someone who who feels they've been wronged, who have some sort of grievance, and you just nudge them, you know? You say, oh, this person's the reason, and you just give them the tools to get rid of your target. But this is all speculation, guys, okay? Sonny's just talking out of his butt. Okay, this is all speculation. This is all arts and crafts, guys. Okay? Okay? All arts and crafts. Yeah. The business of violence. Because some guys are dummies. You know, they're dummies. Their fathers were dummies. Their fathers were dummies. I don't know. They were bred in violence or something. I don't know. They're just dummies. Dummies, dummies, dummies. The dummies and dummies. They're dummies and dummies. Dummies and dummies and dummies. The ultimate dummy was a Byronic Calhoun. Do you know who the Byronic Calhoun is, kids? The Byronic Calhoun is a dummy. The dummiest of dummies. Yeah, the Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic character. Yeah. The Byronic hero. That's the thing too. I mean, I don't know. You ever heard the saying, like, if you're gonna, what was the saying? Like, you don't want to make an enemy of someone. Like, if you're gonna make an enemy of someone, like, you might as well like finish the job. Otherwise, they may come back for revenge, right? But it also means, like, let's say you're in the business of violence. You want that. Does that make any sense? Like, you wouldn't want to eliminate an enemy. You would want to sustain it, because that's your bread and butter. I don't know. Yeah, you don't eliminate an enemy if you're part of the machine, you know? You just sustain it. You need it to go on. So you play a dumb game. theatrics, if you will. Yeah, John Wick 4. Yeah, because it was all close combat, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not gonna... The last thing you would want is to be anywhere near your target. I mean, you're not gonna be... And the closer you are to a person, the more personal it gets, you know, when it comes to, like, killing a person. To be up and close to a person you're gonna kill, like, it takes a sense of like, it's very personal, you know? Like, why would you want that? You don't want to see this. Like, you're not in any way involved with this person, so why would you want to... So you do it from afar, like, you know? Like, you get, like, a... The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun. Yeah. Especially, like, someone's, like, if you know, like, someone is, like, very angry or, like, has, like, some sort of, like, gripe against, like, a group of people or person or just society at large, you can sort of, like, poke this person into, like, doing whatever you want. I know this sounds very, like, you're like, Sonny, what are you talking about? I know, but it's possible, guys. Like, you can actually do that. Yeah. You can do that. You can get a person, figure out, especially if they're a person who has nothing to lose too. Gangs do the same thing. Even think about, like, on a local level, like your gang, like organized crime, or like they usually get desperate individuals. Yeah. To commit it for them, or yeah. You're probably wondering, who the hell is the Byronic Calhoun? The Byronic Calhoun is an owl, if you will. He's a fruity owl. He subscribes to the Drizzy notion of, because Drizzy tends to, like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, but Drizzy tends to, like, steal or take things from other people or artists. And then these people have to, like, embarrass Drizzy online in order for him to pay them, or... Because, like I said, like, cult leaders, political leaders, pimps, really shitty bosses, people who just exploit, you know, take way more than their fair share, because that's what they are. They don't really have a... Or even drug dealers, or just... They don't tend to pay what they feel is, like, a fair... Because they're incapable. Well, maybe they're not incapable. Maybe they know, they just don't care. That's really irrelevant, really. Because the thing is, if you're in a position where you don't have to do something, you're not gonna do it. Let's be honest. People don't go out of their way. I mean, like, if you don't have to do something, most people won't do it. That's the thing. Like, unless you... But I mean, not really. That's not true. Like I said, some people live according to a code, you know? But it goes back to, like, who's the monster, you know? I don't know. Yeah, some people live according to a code. But also, like, if you do that, then it also means you gain a reputation of, like, nobody wants to work with you. You know? Like, if people know that's what you do, then... I don't know. People are like, yo, why would I work with this person? Unless they put you in a position where you have no choice, right? I don't know. Making my way downtown. Yeah, the Byronic Calhoun. He took a page out of Drizzy's book. He's infiltrated all my devices. He's stolen my arts and crafts. The Byronic Calhoun. Folie de, folie de. Folie de. Yeah, John Wick 4. Assassins. The Assassin's Code. Assassins. I don't know. Should I end this one? It's about an hour. Getting so itchy too. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, guys. Making my way downtown. What's on Facebook, guys? What are you doing on Facebook? Does anybody still use Facebook? Remember Facebook? Apparently the FBI uses, like, tracks Facebook for, like, I don't know, for nonsense. So what we'll do is, look, we'll look at his Facebook analytics, okay? Then from this, we'll figure out what his behavioral patterns are, okay? What is he into? What did he write? What did he write 15 years ago? Okay. Now we want this guy. He seems angry. How can we use him? Okay. Joe Rogan, how do we use this guy? We'll get him to commit an assassination. Okay. How will we do this? We'll deplete his self-esteem, create an immense sense of humiliation. Yes. But how? We'll use Jodie Foster in Taxi. Da 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 da! So dumb. Jodie Foster in Taxi. He was used. He lost all his dollars. 'Cause of Jodie Foster in Taxi, the Byronic Calhoun. In conjunction with Joe Rogan. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, look, we need a puppet, okay? We need to place a puppet in a governmental position. How are we gonna do this? Let's access his Facebook stuff. Is he associated with MS-13? I don't know. Get Trump involved. Who knows what's going on? Embarrassing. But anyway, you're like, what are you talking about, Sonny? Absolutely embarrassing, guys. We're gonna get some dollars out of this. Like how Drizzy would compensate the people he stole his stuff from. You guys know what I'm talking about? Whatever, guys. Whatever, guys. The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun is a dummy. He's embarrassing people, the Byronic Calhoun. People are like, why wouldn't this guy just give Sonny his dollars, you know? This is getting embarrassing. This is getting embarrassing, guys. This is kind of embarrassing. Don't you think? I don't know. I don't know. No one will probably see this, you know? No one will probably see this or even understand what I'm talking about. The Byronic Calhoun. You can just give somebody their dollars, you know? He's a threat to society. What does he do? He goes to the library. What? He goes to the library? Keep an eye on him. What else does he do, Johnson? He enjoys comedy. We can't give this guy any dollars. He's a threat to society. What else does he do? He travels the world. Are you kidding me? Keep an eye on him, Johnson. What did he write on Facebook 15 years ago? The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun wears the same clothes day in, day out. Because he needs everything right now. He needs everything the same. The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun wears the same clothes day in, day out. Because he needs order and structure. He doesn't like change. He doesn't want ethnic people having money. The Byronic Calhoun. Oh, whatever, I'm gonna end this. So maybe like, what are you talking about, Sonny? You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, guys. Read between the lines. Ugh. So dumb. Why don't you just give me my dollars, guys? Just give Sonny his dollars. Just give Sonny his dollars. This is embarrassing, guys. Even the Delanos think this is embarrassing. You know? What are we gonna do? We're gonna hack. Let's hack some hospitals. Figure out what he said to a therapist. We'll use this information. We're gonna use him as a tool. An assassin, if you will. Not unlike what happened to the leader of Japan, you know? Or that thing that happened in Argentina but didn't happen. Interesting. Interesting. What are you talking about, Sonny? Well, you guys will figure it out. But anyways, yeah, John Wick. John Wick's a good movie, guys. It's Keanu's a Canadian. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. The Byronic Calhoun. The Byronic Calhoun. Embarrassing. COVID. TikTok. Assassinations. Oh, man. This is so dumb. Give me my dollars, guys. Give me my dollars. There's no special virus that will get released anytime soon, I'll tell you that. That might affect the eyeballs. But whatever. The Byronic Calhoun. Just give him his dollars. Even the Delanos are like, give Sonny his dollars. This is getting embarrassing. The Roganites. Oh, this is so dumb. Whatever, guys. Whatever. You know? Whatever, guys. Whatever. Look, I know I ended the video, but like I have so much more to say. My lips are so chapped. Ugh. I can smell you probably can smell my lips through this camera. Ugh, they stink. But yeah, what was I gonna say though? I feel like I was talking about the Byronic Calhoun and how he led to a lot of nonsense. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm in the crosshairs of a psycho. You ever feel like that? Like you got into the crosshairs of a crazy person? And a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense, guys. A lot of nonsense. Yeah, this is so dumb. People who know what I'm talking about know just how dumb all this is. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. Jodie Foster in Taxi. It's crazy. I love it. You know what? I'm a big fan of Louis C.K. I don't know if you guys saw his last special, but he has this great bit about his dad. How he got diddled by his dad, but it didn't actually happen. That was a good joke. Wasn't it? Here's the thing, kids. If you are gonna go see a therapist, you know, you have to like explore certain things, you know? You might have a thought here or there. But you could explore these things with a therapist. Unless of course, the Byronic Calhoun and the Roganites, in conjunction with the trumpets, decide, if you will, to infiltrate a foreign institution. When they infiltrate this foreign institution, they break international laws, if you will. With the help of shady sheepdogs or leash dogs. Yeah, then you get an international incident where governments get involved over nothing. People perish. Viruses get released. Yeah, this is dumb. All because of the Byronic Calhoun, you know? The Byronic Calhoun can't leave things left. Like, he just can't. There's something wrong with him. Some of his friends even think there's something wrong with the Byronic Calhoun. I don't know. The Byronic Calhoun. Yeah. Things happen. Orders are made. They make a bad call, as Carl Winslow would say. Then you have to clone some people using monkey DNA or my enzyme. Because you made a bad call. Because here's the thing, kids. Old people don't know how to use Facebook. Did you know that? Old people don't know how to use the internet in general. Chappelle goes on to say, oh, Twitter's not a real place. Young people know that. Young people know Twitter isn't a real place. Young people also know Facebook isn't a real place. You know? Because you understand how the internet works. It's not real. This isn't even, I mean, is this real? Who knows? I mean, I'm being plastered on an image. Okay, look. It cut off again. I do that a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like the theme of my videos is I give off like broken sentences or just sentences. They don't like finish like what I'm doing right now. So a lot of my videos tend to break and then I restart them. I mean, it's more of a reflection of my thoughts and how I do things, but I don't know. This is who I am, guys. Oh, what did I start recording again? Oh yeah, the Byronic Calhoun. Okay, look. Some of you are thinking, who is the Byronic Calhoun? Okay. The Byronic Calhoun is he's a shifty character. He's a man of means. Look, I said a few things about the Byronic Calhoun. If the Byronic Calhoun is watching this, please don't hurt me, okay? All the other stuff was just joking. I'm just kidding, man. I know you see this. You in conjunction with the rest of whatever entity you work for, but like, I'm just kidding, bro. You're the Byronic Calhoun, you know? But he knows what I'm talking about, though. He knows what I'm talking about. I think I was supposed to do something on his behalf, but it didn't happen. Somebody lost a bet. Souls need to be sacrificed. I don't know. The Byronic Calhoun. I don't know. I mean, what I remember, what is it called? The Byronic Heroes. What book is it called? It's like he's like Byronic, and that like he comes after like years of being abused, like he was treated like crap, and then he comes back with a vengeance because he makes a bunch of money. Says to torture everybody who's ever tortured him before. I don't know. Hurt people, guys. Hurt people. There's like a saying, or like what is it called? Oh, it's like a theme. Like, not even a theme, but like it's a thing like psychology called destructive entitlement. You ever heard of that? It's like when someone is like, I don't know, when an aggrieved party feels like they're entitled to something, even like unreasonably, because like they feel like they've been wronged so much, they decide to like exact revenge, you know? He's Byronic, you know? Am I Byronic? I don't think I am. I mean I like dollars. I like dollars, because who doesn't like dollars, guys? I like doing fun things with dollars. Unless, of course, like I said, you're in the business of violence. But yeah, I'm not Byronic. The Byronic Calhoun is. I think he's Byronic. But again, like, if he's seeing this, please don't hurt me. Please don't hear me, Brian, the Byronic Calhoun. No, that's all I got. Whatever, guys. This one's it. Okay, here's the thing. I said I was gonna end the video, but like I just realized the Byronic character comes from Wuthering Heights. Is it Wuthering Heights? I think it's Wuthering Heights. But look, he comes like he's like the guy who goes out for revenge. But it calls into question, like, should you give dollars to a guy who's angry? I don't know. Do I seem angry, guys? I don't seem angry. I'm sunny. See? Sunny! Sunshine! But yeah, this one's it. This one's the last one, though, I swear. This is the last one, I swear. I swear, this is it. This is it.